Hello, Princeton Elementary parents, students, and staff. This is Mr. Orwig, Superintendent at Princeton Elementary District 115, and I'm going to record another video newsletter for you on the YouTube channel here. And I'm going to say something in advance, parents, staff, and students. I've got to give you some information today that kind of goes beyond as far as amount of content that I've done the past couple of videos. I've learned that as consumers of this, you'd like something between 4 and 5 minutes. I'm going to just tell you right from the get-go, this is going to be longer today. I've got a lot of important information to give you, everybody, so please, I would encourage you, watch this video in its entirety because I'm going to be talking about inclement weather alerts, e-learning, a bunch of things that you really are going to want to hear all the information on. So without any further ado, let me just dive right in, and I'm going to be referring to my notes along the way, so I'll be reading you some things and also just talking to you about some things. So right away, first of all, I want to talk to you about something called House Bill 2471. Now, that's a new law that was passed in Illinois. House Bill 2471 is a law that's being termed by some as the Free Meals for All rule in the state of Illinois. In fact, just recently, or a few weeks ago, I even had a board member contact me because he was contacted in the community by a community member and parent basically suggesting, hey, they had heard that there are free meals for all in the state of Illinois right now. Is Princeton Elementary participating? Why isn't Princeton Elementary participating, et cetera, et cetera. Truthfully, here's the way it played out, parents and staff. House Bill 2471 was signed into law, but it was signed into law and became effect, unfortunately, before the state of Illinois had allocated dollars in their budget to the actual law. Simply put, everybody, even though House Bill 2471 exists, because money to support it does not exist right now, it technically isn't a law for schools to abide by at this time. Now, certainly, everybody, should money eventually be allocated towards free meals for all in the state of Illinois, obviously that's information that I would roll out to you folks at a later time and how it can impact Princeton Elementary School students. But for right now, again, you might hear some press on this law, House Bill 2471, and how supposedly school districts in Illinois are going to be providing free meals. That might be the case, but not until money is allocated by the state for all public schools to do it. Okay, that's it on House Bill 2471. Inclement weather, everybody. Obviously, we are getting closer and closer to inclement weather. It's really nice fall weather out there right now, but we know that winter weather will soon be upon us. Just a reminder that I will be using the Apogee app's live feed function to report any future closings and cancellations, along with standard text messages and emails that are still filtered through that platform. If you are comfortable receiving all of those notifications through text messages and email alerts, quite frankly, there really isn't anything you need to do right now. However, I will say this, and this is mainly to parents and staff too, I really want to still encourage all of you to download the PES 115 app that is basically a function through Apogee. Because number one, it's just got a lot of good information about our district on the app, but also eventually when it comes to closings and cancellations or postponements, I truly will use the live feed portion of that app for you to get a notification about those things that way as well. So again, if you like your emails, you like your texts, great, but I would still encourage you to download the PES 115 app if you haven't already done so, because live feed alerts will eventually come on winter weather closings and cancellations as well via that app. Now, speaking of cancellations and closing, here's the main thing I needed to talk about with you today on this YouTube video. Just a reminder or update that PES 115 for this school year truly is now officially an e-learning approved district. Now, I've mentioned that in past videos. This is something we were working on, but I wanted to bring this up to you again today for a couple of reasons. First of all, parents, be prepared for teachers to speak with you about this at the upcoming parent-teacher conferences. In fact, even as I'm speaking to you now, teachers around the district are working on different e-learning materials for the kids that I'm speaking to you about that will truly be discussed at those conferences. Now, Logan Junior High is a little bit different, everybody. Because the kids there have devices that are readily available and can go home with them every day, Logan Junior High will will be presenting digital e-learning information through those devices, much like Princeton High School students have had the past few years. However, in the event of a power outage on an e-learning day, even Logan Junior High School students will have options given to them upon their return to school after an e-learning day in order to basically, in a way, document their attendance and presence on that e-learning day. Okay? Now, in regards to documented attendance, everybody, parents will learn soon that an email to a teacher will serve as the acknowledgement of the student's presence / attendance / participation during an e-learning day. But remember, however, in the event of a quirky power outage or something like that that would hinder the ability of parents to email teachers regarding that, just being able to present some sort of document, some sort of artifact that was worked on by the kids at a school day after an e-learning day, that's another way we can acknowledge the students' attendance and participation during e-learning. So again, just be prepared for teachers to talk about that and reference this video in case you're ever wondering, okay, hey, how are we going to basically prove that we participated in this day? There's a couple different ways. The email, and then obviously some sort of a document that the kids are to work on that they will eventually present to their teachers. Parents, quite honestly, we're all ready to kind of embark on something new with these e-learning days. But no doubt about it, parents, it'd be silly of me to try to tell you that these days are going to look like a typical school day. They're not going to. We know that. However, we do feel like they will be nice in terms of being able to stick closer to end of the year schedules and calendars, because we won't have to make up these e-learning days like we did snow days in the past. And you can probably count on a lot of review work out of kids on these days as well, and that'll be a good thing. Also, parents, I'll be honest with you. Having these approved days will allow me to take even a greater cautionary approach when having students not in attendance on inclement weather days. It'll be much safer now to be able to feel like we can keep kids home and not even risk getting them out. And not having to worry about how that will mess with calendars and things like that. So that safety, that cautionary approach can certainly become more of a priority. However, parents, it is important to know this. We, by law, can only approve use 5 e-learning days every year. Again, 5 by law. So what I'm trying to tell you is this, and I think even some staff members in the district might be confused or ignorant to this rule. If we use up 5 e-learning days, let's say we have a nasty December and January, if we use an actual snow day then in February, guess what, everybody? By law, we're making it up. So just keep that in mind. I've kind of gotten the pulse out there that some people think now that we're in e-learning approved districts, we'll never have to make up snow days again. It's not true. If we get beyond those 5 e-learning days, any days 6 through 10, by law, we have to make up. So keep that in mind as you're scheduling things in later May, June, perhaps. So we'll see how this goes. I'm sure that we can all just hope for a mild winter and hope that it isn't an issue altogether. Switching gears from inclement weather alerts and e-learning. Just a reminder, parents, if you are dropping off medications to your children, all meds dropped off to students, any kind, whether they be over-the-counter or prescription meds or even inhalers, there needs to be a medical authorization form filled out in the office so that necessary staff can administer those accordingly. And that needs to be filled out by parents and also needs to be acknowledged by the medical provider. We've had some gaps in that recently, and obviously it can go without being said. Any kind of administering of medications at school is a very sensitive thing, and we need to be very safe with it. So we need to make sure we really formalize that process. Lastly today, everybody, and thanks for hanging with me, I'm happy to say that we have not had any emergency notifications or school safety notifications since the beginning of the school year. We had a few there, if you recall, at the beginning of the school year. However, parents, the few concerns when we had those that I heard from you seem to revolve around the concepts of the following. We want more information, Mr. Orwig, or we want more details. We want the information sooner, things of that nature. And I'll be honest with you, parents. I wanted to take the time to say this. When it comes to events that trigger the kind of emails, safety concern emails we had at the beginning of the year, when it comes to those kind of events, there is only so much information that I can give to you at that time. Let me say that again. There is only so much information that I can even give you at that time. Let me explain. I know that it is human nature when something dramatic happens like that, and you're concerned about your kid's safety, to want to be in the know, to want as many details as you can. However, parents, when it comes to the notification of that kind of thing, as school officials, we recognize that those type of events often deal with specific students, identifiable information associated with specific students, potential disciplinary consequences, potential police investigation information. Simply put, we are talking about some very sensitive disciplinary or confidential information that inhibits us from being able to give you some of that information that you want. Now, certainly, I will continue to give you as much information as I can in as timely a fashion as possible regarding safety concerns. However, parents, it might not always be as much as you want. And it probably, but I can assure you though, even though it might not be as much as you want, I can assure you it will be as much as I feel like I can legally give. So let's just all hope that those kind of incidents are few and far between or non-existent altogether, and then we can all feel comfortable moving forward. That's all I have for now, parents and staff. I'll certainly be recording another video somewhere probably slightly before second semester. Have a great day, and we look forward to talking to you again.